house, Asahi's stadium fell silent. Lord Daichi raised his hand, his voice cutting through the hushed crowd.
Hiroto Asahi, you are no son of this house. You are exiled from this day forward.
The Forest of Lost Hours, a name that turned even the proudest players to dust. The crowd erupted. Attendants ripped the Asahi crest from his coat, the gold thread snapping.
Take him to the Forest of Lost Hours, a fitting grave for a talentless stain.
Guards dragged Hiroto off the pitch. The crowd's mockery followed him into the tunnel. The carriage stopped at twilight before a crumbling red torii. Beyond it, the Forest of Lost Hours swallowed the light. Ancient trees twisted overhead. Cold mist clung to the ground, heavy with the scent of rot and forgotten things.
I'll walk in on my own. I won't give them the satisfaction of dragging me.
Hiroto stepped into the mist. The carriage lanterns faded. Alone, he did not look back. The deeper he walked, the louder the whispers. Names of players who entered and never returned. Their legacies gnawed to static. A clearing opened, an overgrown pitch, goalposts tilted like gallows. Hiroto's legs gave out. He sprawled on dead grass, mist coiled into form. Tall, silver-furred ears, 9 translucent tails. An ancient fox spirit studied him with patient amusement.
You didn't curse him. Not a word of hate for the man who cast you here. Loyalty is a rare, foolish thing.
I don't owe you explanations. Spirit, state your purpose, or let me die in peace.
I grant you a time loop. Within this pitch, you may live years and days, train, fail, repeat, until you are no longer the talentless stain he named you.
And what do you gain from my suffering?
Entertainment, and perhaps a weapon. The choice is yours.
Weapon. Vengeance. I'll carve my name into their defeat.
The sigil blazed, a clock face searing the mist. Time fractured. The forest sealed around him, and Hiroto stood once more at the center line, whole but alone. The first loop had begun. The first loop broke him. His legs were slow, his lungs on fire. Phantom defenders ghosted past, and the ball mocked him.
Your stats are written in bone. Repetition alone won't rewrite them, but I can grant you the memories of masters. Their muscle, their instinct, their humiliation. Absorb them.
You are saying I can download skill, like a letter?
If you survive the download.
He took the first memory, a dead striker's last-second volley, and retched as it seared into his spine. Loop after loop, he added more. A defender's slide, a keeper's dive, a midfielder's vision. His body twitched with borrowed genius. Years passed in days. He shattered, rebuilt, shattered again. The crimson in his eyes deepened.
I can see it now. The ball's path before it moves.
He no longer counted the loops. He simply moved, and the ball obeyed. The talentless stain was gone, burned away in the crucible of time.
Your senses can push beyond the pitch if you dare. See what your family hides from the world.
Hiroto closed his eyes and reached. The mansion's parlor swam into view, as if through watered glass. Lord Daichi sat alone, a decanter beside him. He muttered into his sleeve, "The forest, if only he knew." In the east wing, Lady Asahi's reflection moved before she did. Her eyes blazed violet for a heartbeat, then faded. Himari, in the training yard, struck a servant across the face for a dropped towel. Her voice was laced with contempt.
They're suffering too, but not as I expected. There is something else rotting in that house.
70 years inside, 3 days outside. You have become what I promised. It's time to return.
The clock face sigil reversed. The forest exhaled. The mist peeled back like a curtain before him. Hiroto stepped out of the Forest of Lost Hours. His body was 18, but his eyes held the weight of decades.
I will make them pay for casting me out. But first, I need to understand what I saw.
3 days after his exile, a stranger walked into the Silver Wolves training ground and gave the name Kaito.
My name is Kaito. I want a tryout.
He stepped onto the pitch and froze the coaching staff. His feet moved like they remembered every blade of grass. The Wolves' president offered a contract before the sun set. A weapon against House Asahi had fallen into his lap.
Perfect. They see a tool. I see a stage.
A charity exhibition matched the wolves against the Asahi Club. Hiroto watched from the bench, scanning the VIP box. There he was, Lord Daichi Asahi, slumped in his seat, eyes ringed with shadow. Not the tyrant he remembered.
That's the man who cast me out. He looks broken.
The memory of his father's mutter in the forest echoed. If only he knew. Doubt splintered the edge of his hate.
Number. I've suffered too long to waver now. I'll tear this club down and find the truth myself.
The Wolves' first league clash against House Asahi arrived. Kaito took the pitch, his mind a catalog of every formation they had ever drilled. He threaded passes through gaps that didn't exist, dismantling their defense with eerie precision. The Wolves won by 3 goals. After the final whistle, in the tunnel, Himari's voice cut sharp. She had cornered her assistant coach, Kaori.
Every tactic you suggested was a disaster. You are the reason we lost today. Worthless.
Hiroto stepped out of the shadows. His eyes were cold.
That's enough. Leave her.
Who are you to interfere? They own my contract and my engagement.
She pulled back her sleeve. Bruises mapped her forearm.
Help me expose the rot inside that house. In return, I'll break every chain they've put on you.
You are offering me a way out. Then I'll give you every secret that House holds. Count me in.
Over months, Kaito and Kaori fed the wolves every weak point in House Asahi's armor. The Asahi Club stumbled, loss after loss tarnishing their legacy. Key staff defected. Rumors of internal rot spread through the capital. The once mighty House Asahi was unraveling thread by thread.
Last night, Lord Asahi spoke in his sleep again. The forest. She's waiting. He's growing thinner. Something is devouring him from the inside.
At a critical away match, Hiroto scanned the VIP box. Lady Asahi sat statue still, her lips pressed thin. For one heartbeat, her eyes flickered violet, an unnatural blaze that swallowed the light around her.
That glow. It's the same as in the spying loop. She's not just cruel. She's possessed.
His focus shattered. A pass slipped past him. The crowd roared, but he heard only the echo of his own pulse.
What happened out there? You froze like you'd seen a ghost.
My grandmother's eyes. They glowed violet. I've seen it before, in the forest visions. Something unnatural puppets her.
Old servants whisper of a darkness that settled over Lady Asahi years ago. A shadow with its own mind. Then your revenge isn't just against family. It's against whatever has stolen them.
That night, Hiroto scaled the Asahi Mansion's eastern wall. The archives lay in the oldest wing, guarded only by silence. Behind a false stone, he found a weathered scroll bearing Omamori's 9-tailed seal. The contract read, "In exchange for a son's sanctuary, Lord Daichi pledges his club's fortune. Should a son emerge, the fox shall mold him into a weapon."
A weapon. He didn't exile me out of cruelty. He sent me to be forged.
A scream tore through the silence. Kaori's voice panicked from the east corridor. Hiroto sprinted through darkened halls. In the east parlor, Kaori was pinned by 2 attendants, Lady Asahi before her.
You've been prying into things that don't concern you, dear. I'll teach you to mind your place.
Hiroto threw himself into the room. The attendants scattered. He pulled Kaori behind him, eyes locked on his grandmother.
The exiled rat returns, meddling where he shouldn't. I'll deal with you soon enough.
They fled into the night. His cover was torn, but the truth now burned in his chest. The exile was a design, and the true enemy wore his grandmother's face. In a rented room, Hiroto sat motionless, forcing his consciousness back toward the forest. Kaori watched his face twitch. The mist coiled into the familiar pitch. Omamori waited, 9 tails swaying, her amber eyes unreadable.
Why did my father make that contract with you? What am I meant to fight?
A devourer of bloodlines nests in Lady Asahi. Your father traded his pride to forge you into the weapon that can cut it out.
He could have told me. I spent decades hating a mask.
If you had known as a child, the entity would have killed you. His silence was your shield.
All that hatred. And he was protecting me.
What did you see? You look like you've spoken with a ghost.
The real enemy wears my grandmother's skin. We can't just destroy the club. We have to use the cup final to force her out.
They drafted a plan on that table. The cup final would become a stage where the matriarch could not hide, and Hiroto would finally aim his weapon at the right target. 3 days before the cup final, House Asahi called a press conference. Lady Asahi stood at the lectern, Himari rigid beside her.
By order of the matriarch, Kaori is stripped of all coaching credentials. Her contract is void. She is banished from the club.
Anyone who aids this traitor shares her fate.
They're using me to force his hand. If I don't speak up, they'll destroy him too.
A figure rose from the back. Enough. The voice was ice. Hiroto pulled back his hood.
You want a traitor? Here I stand. Exiled son. Returned. Touch her again and I'll bring this whole house down in front of the kingdom.
The Wolves' president pushed through the chaos. Kaito. No, Asahi. Explain this.
I am Hiroto Asahi. I've used your club as a weapon. Now I ask you to trust me. The cup final must go on.
Hours later, in the tumult, an old servant slipped Hiroto a folded parchment. Lord Asahi's seal. The note read, Final. Pitch. Center. Forgive me. In a borrowed study, Kaori spread yellowed manuscripts across the floor, the oldest records of House Asahi. Her finger trembled on a diagram of the Grand Stadium.
The Devourer's ritual is anchored to the stadium's ley lines. If it activates during the match, the crowd's life force will be consumed.
So the match is her trap. A mass sacrifice dressed as sport.
Himari emerged from the shadows of the training ground, her movements puppet-like, her pupils dilated.
Grandmother bids you farewell, cast-off son. You cannot stop what is to come. The cup final will become her ascension.
She turned and vanished into the gloom. Hiroto stared at the distant stadium, its floodlights bleeding into a bruise-colored sky. He trained until his legs screamed. Loop memories layered over the present, decades of skill, now a single, lethal instrument.
I will stop her. I won't let anyone else die for this family's curse.
On the morning of the cup final, the capital held its breath. Thunderheads massed above the grand stadium, and the air tasted of ozone and dread. Hiroto stood in the tunnel, the roar of 60,000 souls pressing against him. In the VIP box, Lady Asahi smiled, violet sparks dancing at her fingertips. The whistle split the air. From the first touch, Kaito moved like a man who had lived 1,000 matches. The Asahi defense could only stumble. 20 minutes in, he received a pass, spun, and launched a shot that kissed the top corner. The net bulged. Wolves ahead, before the half's end, he threaded a through ball that sliced the Asahi backline open. His teammate tapped it in. The underdogs were leveling giants, but House Asahi answered. A corner, a scrappy header, and the scoreboard read 1-1. The whistle blew for halftime. As players turned for the tunnel, Hiroto walked to the center circle. The stadium hushed, confused. He tore the Silver Wolves jacket from his shoulders. Beneath it, the black and gold coat of House Asahi gleamed, mended and proud.
My name is Hiroto Asahi. I was cast out as a talentless stain. I return to reclaim my blood and demand the truth.
Silence, then chaos. Cheers and screams collided. The name Hiroto Asahi ignited the stands like wildfire. In the VIP box, Lord Daichi lurched to the railing. Tears cut through the dust on his cheeks. My son, he whispered, his voice breaking. Lady Asahi smiled. From her clasped hands, violet tendrils crackled outward, snaking across the glass toward the pitch, before the guards could move. Lord Asahi dropped from the VIP box onto the grass. He walked toward his son, each step heavy with unspoken years. The crowd fell silent. At the center, he collapsed to his knees. His voice, raw, carried through the hush.
I exiled you to save you. She would have killed you. I made a pact to hide you until you were ready.
He described a second loop, a dim copy that let him watch you grow, devouring his own life.
He was dying, and I saw only a tyrant.
A scream. Violet fire burst from the VIP box. Tendrils speared into the crowd. A crimson glyph ignited on the pitch, its edge dragging life from the stands. People collapsed, pale. The air chilled. The devourer was feeding. Hiroto pulled his father close. He could not save everyone. The moment demanded a choice. Lord Asahi pressed a trembling hand to Hiroto's chest. A faint clock-face sigil bloomed, A final, stolen ward. His life poured into his son.
Forgive me. Watch over them.
He's gone. She's taken everything. Now I'll take her.
From the sideline, Kaori hurled a ball toward him. It crackled with fox spirit enchantment, the leather seared with Omamori's nine-tailed seal. Hiroto trapped it, decades of loop mastery making the motion a reflex. The glyph on his chest flared in answer. His leg drew back. The clock-face sigil engulfed the ball. Violet lightning and golden time energy coiled into a single, catastrophic strike. He released it. The ball tore through the air like a meteor, a howling comet of grief and retribution. It struck the VIP box dead center. The glass evaporated. Lady Asahi's body was thrown backward, violet flames ripping from her form. The ritual glyph shattered, the tendrils snapped. And from the broken vessel, a shriek, a smoke-like entity with blazing eyes, fled into the night.
It is not over. The Devourer lives, but you have given your blood a chance.
1 week after the abandoned final, Hiroto stood alone at the Asahi cemetery. Rain fell in thin, cold lines. Lord Daichi's headstone was new, the earth still dark. No crowd, only the sound of water on stone.
Himari is recovering. The entity's hold is broken. She asked about you.
I hated him for years. Now I'd give anything to have him scold me again.
The wolves want you back. They'd make you captain. It's what he would have wanted.
Hiroto's hand touched the Asahi crest on his coat. He unfastened the gold filigree with care.
The club isn't my home, but maybe one day. Keep it safe for me.
What will you do?
Hiroto turned and walked toward the tree line, where the forest of lost hours began. The mist welcomed him.
The Devourer must be hunted. Are you ready to finish what your father started? This parasite has fed on your bloodline for centuries. It will regenerate unless you cut it out at the root. It will seek a new host soon. You must track it across the kingdom before it roots again.
Then I won't rest until it's ash. For my father. For the family he died protecting.
Kaori stood at the tree line. The Asahi crest pressed to her heart as Hiroto and the spirit disappeared into the mist.
I'll keep the club alive. Don't you dare die out there.
In the Asahi mansion, the matriarch's body lay motionless in a dim chamber. Only the hum of ward candles. Her eyes snapped open. Violet fire erupted in the dark. Behind her bed, a shadow uncoiled, a jagged silhouette with a starving grin.
The hunt only changes prey.
The entity's laughter echoed through the silent halls as the last candle died.
The parasite's laughter is a trail. It cannot hide its malice from me. We have hours before it finds its first victim.
Then move. I'll not give it a second's respite.
In the mansion, Kaori stood over Lady Asahi's body, a faint violet thread still linking her to the shadow. Her hands trembled.
It left a tether. If I cut it, could the matriarch be freed? Or will this kill her?
The shadow sensed her intent. It twisted, forming a half-face that grinned at her. Try, little bird.
She is threatened. The parasite taunts from both sides. You must reach the mansion before it consumes the last link to your bloodline.
I can't be in two places. The forest's loop only works on the pitch. How do I save her?
The ward your father gave you holds a sliver of my power. You can extend it once, but it will cost you a decade of your subjective years.
A decade. I've paid 70 already. What's 10 more? Do it.
The sigil on his chest flared, and through the forest, a bolt of golden time energy shot toward the mansion. A gift of borrowed years to sever a thread. The golden bolt struck the violet thread and bloomed into a blade of liquid light in Kaori's trembling hand.
This is his fight. This is my cut.
The thread severed with a shriek. The shadow convulsed, its grin twisting into a silent howl as cracks spread across its form. In the forest, Hiroto's body stood motionless, his spirit riding the borrowed years like a comet. His form coalesced in the chamber, a spectral echo wreathed in clockwork sigils. He faced the remnants of the parasite.
You've stolen enough. I'll trap you in a loop of your own feeding. Until you forget how to exist.
The clock face contracted. drawing the entity's screaming essence into a spiraling cage of frozen moments. With a final, silent implosion, the clock sealed. The chamber fell quiet. The parasite was not dead, but caged, a starving echo in a timeless prison. Kaori dropped to her knees beside Lady Asahi. The matriarch's eyes fluttered open, gray, not violet.
It's done. I've won back my family. Not through revenge, but through sacrifice.
In the forest, the golden tether snapped back into Hiroto's chest, and he gasped, dropping to one knee. The sigil faded to a faint scar.
80 years, you have paid now. Yet the cage will weaken year by year. The hunt is not over.
I know. But first, my grandmother is free. Let me see her one last time before I chase the shadow across the world.
With a brush of her tails, Omamori folded the distance. The mansion's chamber materialized around Hiroto.
She asked for you. Her voice is weak, but it's her own.
Hiroto, your father's son. I wore that monster's smile while it tortured this house. Can you forgive me?
I forgave everyone on the pitch. There is nothing left to hate.
Brother, the club will wait. Come home one day without a mask.
Hiroto rose, pressed the Asahi crest into Kaori's palm once more, and walked out of the mansion into the waiting mist.
I'll return. Not for revenge, but when I've earned the right to call this house my home.
At the forest's edge, Omamori turned to Hiroto, her 9 tails still as the wind died. The Torie gate stood as it had weeks before, unchanged.
The cage is not stable. In time, the parasite will gnaw its way free. We must hunt the echoes it left scattered across the kingdom.
Then our contract extends. But this time, I'm not a weapon for a single battlefield. I am the shield for my family's name.
Inside the mansion, Kaori pinned the Asahi crest above the hearth. Lady Asahi, propped on cushions, watched with glassy but peaceful eyes.
That boy carried more years than I have lived. He'll come back when the shadow is truly gone.
Until then, I'll run the club. Himari is already drilling the youth team. We'll be ready for him.
The first echo was sighted in the northern province. A village whispers of a fox-made boy who outran the dawn.
A fox-made boy. A legend already. Maybe that's what I was always meant to be.
They walked into the fog, the clock-face sigil flickering once on Hiroto's chest, then dimming. The forest of lost hours became a trail rather than a cage. As they vanished, the grand stadium lights flickered on in the capital. The Wolves and the Asahi Club would meet again, but this time, not as enemies. 1 month after the abandoned final, the new season dawned. The scars of the ritual had faded, but the capital remembered.
Himari, the youth wings need more minutes. Let them play. This club belongs to them now, too.
Above them, in the VIP box, Lady Asahi watched with gray eyes. She nodded once, and the sun caught the silver in her hair. A courier arrived with a scroll sealed in clock face wax. The messenger bowed and pressed it into Kaori's palm. The note read, "The northern echo was weak. I move deeper into the woods. The crest belongs with you. Keep it bright."
He's still fighting, and we'll be here when he finishes.
The Wolves' president offered his hand. A banner behind them declared, "United Clubs of the Capital." In the Wolves' locker room, a second Asahi crest hung beside the wolf's head, a symbol of alliance, born from sacrifice. A boy in the stands waved a flag with a homemade clock-face sigil. His father pointed toward the pitch. The legend of the loop-returned sun was spreading. Hiroto Asahi had been cut from the team for being weak. He returned with a time loop, won back his family, and now hunted shadows, not as a stain, but as a guardian. Deep in the forest of lost hours, Hiroto halted. Omamori pricked her ears toward the distant chant. A faint echo of the crowd chanting his name reached them, threading through the trees with the wind.
That distant roar they still remember. He allowed himself a faint smile.
The seeds you planted are growing. Your legacy is a light that keeps the darkness honest.
Then I'll guard that light until the cage is empty.
He pulled his hood up. The clock-face sigil flared once on his chest, then settled to a quiet scar. In the capital, a new banner hung in the stadium. Asahi returns when shadows fall. A young girl in the stands traced a clock face on a flag. mimicking the gesture of the fox-made boy. And somewhere, in the locked loop, the parasite clawed at the walls. But the walls held. Hiroto Asahi walked on, hunting shadows, so that one day he could return home.